Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A shooting and high-speed chase earlier this week was partially caught on surveillance video.
Police say the suspect's car was racing down 22nd Street at about 70 miles per hour and missed the corner of 22nd and Phillips Avenue. That's where the driver hit Nick Kemper's car that was parked on the street. He says he heard the crash, but he also heard his mom yell for him to come look at the damage.
That's where I saw the car there, and then the tire tracks in the grass on the street or on the sidewalk.
The car later crashed into another vehicle, and that's where 3 of the 4 suspects were taken into custody. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. The suspects have been identified as 19-year-old Corbett Heron of Sioux Falls, 19-year-old Shalina Alexander of Sioux Falls, and a 17-year-old. All are facing charges. Police are still looking for 19-year-old Carissa Becker.
Well, as a brief homecoming Thursday for people who live along flooded McCook Lake in Union County. They were allowed to return to see firsthand the damage and, in some cases, remove some of their belongings. Many of them have lived at the lake most of their lives.
Actually went from the hospital to a small cabin at McCook Lake, and then over the years have moved to different locations, and but yeah, I've been here my entire life.
Brian Gunderson says his flood-damaged home will likely have to be demolished.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is highlighting 30 as a noteworthy number of days as parts of the state recover from the impact of floodwater.
There's a time frame on this, so once the state declares an emergency declaration, which we already have done, there's a 30-day time clock that exists that we collect information, the amount of loss, gather all of that data from our county emergency management directors. They submit that to the state, to our Office of Emergency Management, which then submits it to you and to your agency for evaluation on reimbursement.
The city of North Sioux City, the county of Union County, along with the state, have all declared an emergency.
Every single person that has lost any kind of personal property, if something is costing them more, they lost their groceries, they lost the meat in their freezer, if they're spending more money on hotel rooms, keep those receipts. Keep all of that. That's a part of the application that you possibly could be reimbursed for.
KELOLAND's Dan Santella is scheduled to interview the governor this morning. Watch for that coverage later today. Now let's check in with meteorologist Scott Munt. Have we seen the last of the rain for today, Scott?
Well, it could be a couple of isolated showers that develop this afternoon in the northwestern Iowa, and maybe an isolated thunderstorm north central to northeastern KELOLAND late this afternoon into the evening. Otherwise, I'd just say mostly dry skies. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s for afternoon highs. Brian will have more details on your forecast, which includes a cooler weekend coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Scott. The flooding in Rock Valley, Iowa last weekend devastated the west side of town. Over 400 students from at least 10 schools in the area traveled to Rock Valley in an effort to clean up the school. The community still has a long road to recovery, but they appreciate the help they have received.
The financial need is going to be great for everybody going forward. That's going to be for everybody, but we've had such an outpouring, and I can't say thanks enough.
Mental health therapists will be available throughout the town today.
If you have any gently used furniture at home, a local nonprofit could put it to good use. The Furniture Mission of South Dakota needs donations to help flood victims. Not only is the Sioux Falls-based nonprofit helping South Dakotans impacted by flooding, but it's also serving people in northwest Iowa.
Everything that you can think of that makes your house a home. So couches and chairs, all living room furniture, coffee tables, end tables. Their beds have been ruined.
To find out how to donate, use the link in this story on KELOLAND.com.
Well, theater has made its return to McKinnon Park. Sioux Falls Parks and Recreation is offering 7 productions by Storyland Children's Theater this June, July, and August. Every show draws hundreds of people, and the small cast of characters are handed a new script every 7 days.
Every week we do a brand new show, and it is a bit of a challenge in that we have to memorize, we have to costume, we have to block it all out and have rehearsal. At the same time, we're a bunch of theater people. It's just what we do. So it's a lot of fun. The kids get to see something new every week, and we get to experience something new every week. So that's a good time.
Storyland Children's Theater returns to McKinnon Park next Tuesday and Wednesday with Alice in Wonderland. We've provided a link with this summer's complete schedule of performances under this story on KELOLAND.com. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, recapping some rain totals from last night and the last 24 hours. Of course, some of this rain started yesterday in the Aberdeen, Mobridge area. Would we tally things up? We're finding some 1 to 2 inch reports in that direction, certainly centered around Redfield. There are some embedded pockets here, over 1.5 inches, close to 2 inches of rain. There are, though, a lot of numbers in the southwest that are much lower. We also had a lot of severe weather in northwest South Dakota last night, and those storms reported there with some wind damage. 70 to 90 mile an hour winds actually up around the Buffalo area. But those storms did weaken as they crossed the James River Valley. Yes, we picked up some rain around Worthington again. They ended up with over 1/2 inch of rain, and yeah, just enough to say it keeps raining. Of course, it's been such an exceptionally wet month. But the good news is the weather forecast today, tomorrow, Sunday, we're definitely more limited on the scope and intensity of these areas of rain. If we pop up another shower or thunder shower today, it'll probably be northwest Iowa. Could run a route there of a little rain, but at this point, we're hopeful that that will not organize into anything too significant here. Northwest winds should help us out. And that's actually the weather map here at 3 o'clock. We've got 80s, upper 70s, low 80s, very common. Now, tonight, tomorrow, we bring in that next frontal system. This is the one that's going to deliver the sharply cooler weather for the weekend. In the process of that, we could develop a couple of hits of rain overnight, mainly in the northeast. We're getting some clues about that. But if that does happen, I don't think that's going to be a big impact during the day on Saturday. However, with a blend of sun and clouds, and we're struggling just to get to 70, and it's late June, that's kind of a big deal. We're probably at least 10, maybe in some cases 15 degrees below normal. So it is not going to feel exactly like summer here on Saturday. Sunday, we pick up a southeast wind. We'll start warming things up. And then we've got to watch early next week. Now, here's a look at the big picture. There's your front moving in to kick off the weekend, and high pressure North Dakota. So that's what limits the rain probability until we get to maybe Sunday night or Monday. Monday's a little more complicated. We got a warm front lifting up out of Nebraska. We're going to surge some moisture. We're going to bring in some instability. So we've got a concoction here where we can develop some thunderstorms. Some of the key takeaways and some of the unknowns that we have, we're not sure exactly how fast this front's going to move through Monday night. Obviously, ahead of that, we're going to have a rich environment for some storms around. The thinking is that this will pull into Minnesota and northern Iowa getting into Monday night and Tuesday. There will be some heavy rain in the region. Right now, it's just kind of a floating target here as to who's going to get what on that forecast. But Monday, Tuesday, if you're looking to flag something here of more importance, it would definitely be that time period. Hopefully, this will not be an impact for those that just went through some of this. And obviously, we'll just keep you posted here in the Storm Center as we get some more information on that. Bottom line next week, temperature-wise, upper 70s, low 80s. It does not look like we're going to a heat wave anytime soon. We're going to get into the 4th of July. Probably at best will be near normal for temperatures. Now, we have our forecast dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I would caution you that there's still some chances of some rain sneaking in here. So I'd like to get through Monday first and then see where that front sits. Aberdeen in the northeast, we're kind of in the same boat. We got to cool down this weekend. Look at that. Saturday's high 69, maybe some mid-70s on Sunday. But as that rich, humid weather comes back at us, there are going to be storms. Even Pierre could pick up some storms on Monday. Rapid City, Black Hills easily could see some storms as well Sunday night into Monday. And obviously last night proved we can get some severe weather. Well, check out more details. We have that online at KELOLAND.com.